Yunus Lebai Ali was an unassuming man. He was a soft-spoken man, pleasant, someone you could take on as a friend without hesitation. If you were to put a career to a disposition, you'd say Yunus Ali would be an accountant. But within that unassuming exterior, Yunus Lebai Ali was a man of strong beliefs, principles, and unshakable commitment. This strength has seen him involved in student politics, made him into a political refugee, travel half the globe, and become a member of the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Indeed, he was in the PLO commandos. He was not only that, but was part of the late Yasser Arafat's personal security detail. He was in Beirut during the Civil War.
Tengah tu, lepas menang tak nampak muka pun.
Ya.
Ya. Kadang-kadang dewan pun dia tak pergi. Dia ikut allowance je. Ya. Kalau dia pergi dewan pun dia tidur. Ya. Ya. Jadi tidak ada prestasi ya. Jadi kita harus membaca ya dan mendengar wakil kita.
When he passed away, not many Malaysians knew of him. He will probably not receive mention in our history books. But amongst activists, Yunus Lebai Ali was a giant. But he himself would say he is only a dwarf. We talked to 4 people closest to him. His wife Maria Chin Abdullah, longtime friend Dr. Rohana Arifin, fellow student protagonist Hishamuddin Rais, and Amin Iskandar, a fellow fair elections activist.
I met Yunus that time. That was back in London, 1979. You know, just as he came from his involvement with the Palestinian Liberation Front organization. He came over as a student activist. That time he was still in exile. 78, late of 1979 or 1978 or 79 when he came. Yeah. Well, gosh, this is hard. I met him when he came for the annual delegates conference for FIMSO, and that was when he actually talked very passionately about what is happening in Palestine, and that actually I think that actually gave a better picture to most of the Malaysian and Singaporean students of what is happening in Palestine, and also the history. And also, I guess that's part of him trying to share his passion with the students, that it's not just about Malaysia and Singapore politics, but the international politics do actually affect our local politics. So that's how we actually met, and since then he came over just after his involvement with the Palestinian Liberation Organization, and he took up a study in sociology in Northeast London Polytechnic, which now I think they have converted that polytechnic into a university. He was in a different precinct and I was in another precinct, but there is some kind of cooperation between his precinct and ours because of the Malaysian students society that we have set up there. So that is how we actually got to know each other. I think what I enjoy most in terms of our relationship is actually the ability to actually exchange ideas and he has a vast experience in terms of going to countries, because his background is where he has been involved in the 1974 student movement. He has been involved in the socialist club, you know. He has actually got in touch with various students from different countries that he go through. He has almost given his life to the Palestinian movement by joining the army itself. And with that experience, he went over to UK, and that was really rich for the student movement. And coming back and looking at Malaysia very differently, he has his own way of analyzing the issues and the challenges, and it was therefore very refreshing to actually discuss with him how we feel about the changes. And he came back during Mahathir's time, right through to Najib's time. So he actually spent through 3 prime ministers when he was in Malaysia, and he really feels very passionately, and things that he really like to do is really to get more young people involved. And I think that forming the NIEI was a way of him getting involved with young people, and I'm quite glad that now, you know, the organization is really led by the young people, and that is one of his dream.
When we first met, the first thing that he said to me, if I were young like you, I will go to Iraq to support the Iraqi people. I was surprised. But before that, I already know about his history. I read from the books written by Kamarazaman Yaakob, the ex-student activist in 1970s, who went to Kamunting with Anwar. So in his book, he mentioned that Yunus involved with the Palestinian Liberation Organization when he ran together with Hishamuddin Rais to travel for their journey to travel all over the world. So when Yunus said that, I felt very shocked, and then I felt interested to know him much better. Then after tsunami in the end of 2004, Yunus at that time is with the one organization called Empower, or in Malay they said Pusat Jana Daya. So he invited me and a few friends like Rahmat and then Abro and another few friends to be a volunteer to join their program in helping the tsunami victims. So this is the first time I work with Yunus officially in an organization. Personally, like me and Yunus is like father and son. Yunus is the one, Yunus can handle me lah. People said Black is very difficult to handle, but Yunus can make me stay in this small office, stay with him since I knew him in the first day 2005 until he passed away recently. But during that time, I also do my API fellowship. I worked in South Korea for 1 year, but we still keep in touch, keep close. He managed to do that. Even my father can't do that. Even my mother can't do that. Even Hishamuddin Rais can't do that. But Yunus can do. Why? Because Yunus is the person who are soft-spoken. And he will try to understand your problem. And he will help. Really, really help. Like for instance, if I say I have some problem with my life, he will help. Seriously, he will think like a true friend. Sometimes he became like brother. Sometimes he give advice like father. So Yunus has affected a lot of people. But he is very low profile. I was surprised that not many people know that Yunus Ali is the husband of Maria Chin. Maria Chin, everybody know. She is now leading Bersih. But nobody knows the existence of Yunus Ali. But in Asian Network for Free Election, when the news came that Yunus passed away, they stopped their activities for 1 day to pay the respect to Yunus. Because he also affected a lot of life, a lot of activists in Asia. Feel very, very sad when they know that Yunus is no longer there. And in Bintulu, many people didn't know that Yunus passed away. When I told them, some of them cried. So you see how Yunus can affect the people emotionally, because he's very soft-spoken and very kind guy. But nobody knows that inside he's very difficult to. I mean, like, he have strong. He have a strong principle that he will never compromise. No deal, something like that. If he say A, B, even though he's soft-spoken. This Yunus is very clever. When he know that, for example, another 1 month or 2 months there will be a mission, he will be very disciplined. He will not take kambing that he loves so much. He will never eat seafood. He will eat medicine on time. He will go to acupuncture. He will always to make sure that he's fit to join. He's the man with a strong spirit. I think if I suffer the same disease like Yunus has, I think I will die. Because Yunus have lupus. Yunus have gout. Yunus have kidney problem. Everything. But he's very strong inside. So, usually during the mission, he will do like that. 2 months before, he will be very disciplined to make sure that he can join, can participate. In fact, I little bit regret to allow him to join the last mission. His last mission in Afghanistan. Because from what Maria told me, after he came back from Afghanistan, the sickness never stopped. But he still, you know, like before he passed away, he went out from the hospital, he practiced training, you know, he exercised. He want to come to the office. This is Yunus. The strong spirit that he has. I think a lot of his good friends might cry or feel very, very sad when he knows. Because Yunus also is a good cook. During last Ramadan, he invited us after buka puasa to eat. He cooked curry kambing, something like that. He really want. But at that time, only 3 of us can come. Me, one young journalist from Malay Mail, and another one ex-SK journalist. We went there. He cooked very good food. And I don't know that is the last time I ate the food that he cooked, and that is the last time I met him. Because after that, I went to China for some training. Before I went to China, he suggested me to eat the Peking duck. 3 days after I arrived China, when I have a chance to eat Peking duck, I SMS him. But he didn't reply at that time. I didn't know that at that time he already been brought to hospital because he cannot breathe. Another 3 days, he passed away.
Ciptakan lagu untukmu, nyanyikan syair buatmu tentang perjuangan, tentang pengorbanan. Kau yang bertubuh kecil tetapi berjiwa besar.